Why, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is ReignGames, and this is a guide on Clan Wars for Revelation Online. I've been playing the game for about 2 months now, and I noticed that there really isn't much in the way of basic guides for Clan Wars. So I wanted to get a guide together for base location, the names of the portals and stuff you would use to get there, as well as where to buy stuff that would be basic turrets, basic seals, etc. So with that all said, thank you for stopping out, and let's get this underway. Today we're going to start with our Territory Wars Fender right here, and I will be showing you just exactly how much it costs. She's located, of course, as you can see, right next to the Guild Ambassador, up in the northern portion of Ceylon. We have our Seals of Luna for Fort and Bastion. The way you can tell which one is which is if you look at the Bastion, it's a lower health than our Seal of Luna Fort. So that means that the Fort ones will be used in your bigger bases. They're like castles, and then the Seals of Luna Bastion will be used in the smaller ones. And as you can see, the wrists are down below for any type of defense you might want. With that said, we'll go and get to our first base, which is looking in the southwestern corner of the map at Sandswept Baron, and the name of that base is our Sundown Castle. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and head over there. I'll show you how to get that base. Alright, so generally most groups will group up over here at this portal array, and then they will take off across this bridge and make their way around this mountain. If there are turrets, they will generally get down off their wings before they get up here so that they mount up early and start making their way in quickly. Now I will make a brief pause up here in a moment just to show you something. Alright, if you see these torches here that I'm going between, you will notice that once I cross them, I am technically in Clan War territory, which means I'm able to be attacked by players from any other alliance or any guild that is not in our own alliance. But that said, we'll go ahead and head in. You'll notice that once I turn this corner, there's a doorway leading into the main room on our right. Another one in the back here, and then again on that far left side there. Here's our first Seal of Luna, which is a bastion, and it is located dead center right here, as you can see. And then behind us here, well, actually first let's go and look at the other base type, which will be currently held by Lotus. This is our Iron Precipice Fortress. It is known as a castle. It is north of Grand Bulwark. But that said, you'll notice our NPC over here is the guy you would talk to get your capture rewards, as well as a quest that gives you a little bit of XP and a little bit of notes. But with that all said, I will be going over to show you how to get to Grand Bulwark quickly through the Road to Greatness. Alright, here's our Road to Greatness under the Categories tab. I have not touched anything other than just open that tab. If you notice right here, we have our teleports to each of the different dungeons in the game. We'll go ahead and click on the boot right next to Grand Bulwark to zip over to that instance. And then from there, I'll show you the direct way to get from Grand Bulwark to the base. Generally, this is going to be the case that we'd use if this base has no capture on it or any turrets per se if it is captured. Takes just a moment to fly up over this mountain into this base. And I will admit that once you get past this pillar on my right here, that will be the point where you will be technically in range to be hit by turrets. So if there are turrets, you'll know, because as soon as you get past that, you're going to be going stunned and drop off your wings. But with that said, we'll head on in, and here's our first Seal of Luna Fort seal. And here's our NPC here. Alright. I am also going to show you the normal route that you'll take to get into here if, per se, they do have turrets and you have to come in by land. This is our front entrance here, And you will be coming up the hill to our right, come up along this path, and then hang up the ramp that I just flew over. I'll fly over again so you can see it real quick here. This ramp right here. And then boom, we'll head on in now. Alright, this is our first entrance here. This will never have a gate on it, but this next entrance will have gates on it. And these could be pretty hard to get through, especially if the team is outside that gate defending. Alright, so we'll make our way next opening in this base. Oh, and something to keep in mind that, like here, we have our entrance here. On the west side of this base is another identical copy, just mirror version of the base itself. But we'll head up the east side here, back into the seal room. And boom, as you can see, there's our seal of Luna. Alright, with that said, our next base on our list of bases to visit will be the Karstwald to Last Precipice. And we will be heading over there in just a second. Alright, as you can see, here's our portal there, and this is the base we're heading over to there. So, again, that's our base to Last Precipice, and we'll be using the Karstwald portal right here. Alright, as you can see, I'm flying towards the world down there that I pointed at. And as you can also notice up here, you can see a building on top of a mountain. And that is pretty much where we're headed. But I'm going to show the route that you would take 95% of the time for this base. Because generally, at least when this base is captured, one turret for some reason always seems to be placed. But as you can see, you've got this watchtower here. The moment you pass it, I do believe that's the range for the turrets. So you might be getting knocked off your wings already at this point. But with that said, we'll just head around this mountain path. Come up this one on the left. You can do the same on the right. And we'll head over as if we were in an attack team to take this base. Alright, as you see, I'm going to be going along this walkway. And on the back here is going to be a portal. Again, as well on the other side, there will be a portal just like this that takes you straight up. Right onto the main level, to where you have just hit up a couple of stairs, and boom, you'll be right on inside the seal room. There you have another bastion, and another NPC that you can talk to get your capture rewards, as well as your quest rewards. But with that said, I'm just going to show a couple of placements for turrets. One there, one over on this platform, another on the platform on this corner, and then lastly, this corner. Alright, with that all said, that's pretty much the Karstwald base, aka to Last Precipice. And with that said, we will be heading over towards this base over here called Lava Camp by most people, or Molten Depths. We'll head over to the Fort Whetstone portal, which is where you would get your Karstwald journey. And I will be showing you how to get there quickly from there. Alright, unfortunately this is the slightly longer path, so you're going to have to bear with me. It is a little bit of a long flight, even from where we were. But that said, afterwards I'll show you what I generally recommend if you're going to be trying to take this base after we explore this base together. Alright, we are getting pretty close here to being in Molten Depths. There, you saw it on my screen before I closed the map. Pretty much right about there is when you would got in. As you can see, we have an opening in the cave over there. But I want to show you that you would also generally have to come up this path if they do per se have any turrets. But with that said, I'm not going to go completely showing you all of it. I'm just going to head on in. Alright. Up through this pathway, there will be turrets that can be placed pretty much along the whole way. And on the end of this path, you also see that we have two openings in the mountain itself. One turret can be placed on the left and one on the right here. And as you can see, this will be from the outside. Keep that in mind for later. But for now, we'll head over to the seal room, which is always going to be located behind this pillar. As you can see on the main map, I'm heading straight towards what looks like a seal of some sort on the map. We just went by our NPC there, and there's our seal, another bastion. Now, if you have a smaller attack team, you can send them through this cave that I'm flying out right now. And as you can see, it breaks off the main path. And if there are no turrets, you could send through. But if there are, you'd have to run through, as you saw. You'd have to get through quickly to this landing area over here so that you could heal up, because that lava will take you out quick if you're not paying attention or moving fast enough. But with that said, we'll head over to this entrance again that I showed earlier. As you can see, it is on the side of the snowy area of the mountain, from which over there in that direction that we're looking would be hoarfrost. As you can see, it just changed over to that. But as long as you follow this mountain path on my right here, you'll eventually reach those openings in the mountain. But for now, we'll head over to our next base, which we would be getting to from generally a million, but we'll get to that in a moment. But this is known as the Hoarfrost Stockade. As you can see up here, we got another one of these little bastions on top of a mountain, and you'll see that up here we have our seal coming up. There it is, as well as our NPC on the far side of it. And again, this is another bastion base. But with that said, I will be heading over to show you what the taskboard is. It's going to be our taskbar right here that I have my mouse on. In order to go these, you would do like I just did there. And if you don't have these turned on, I'll show you how to turn these on real quick. You'll see that I have my mouse on the work part-time. If you uncheck it, taskboards disappear. Check it on, boom, there's your taskboards. Again, we zipped over here via the taskboard, and now we will be flying up from that taskboard straight up towards that base. Now, if this base has turrets, you can't do this. You'd have to go up manually by foot and then jump up the left or right wall. But for now, we're just going to show you that this is what we would do if there were no turrets. Boom. There you'll be in. Now, if you don't think you can make the jumps, you can actually have your entire guild instead just come up this path I'm kind of tracing here. It would lead you across to that area behind these buildings, and then across the bridge, up this path, and then boom, you would be inside the base once again. But with that said, we'll head on over to Fox Camp now, which is currently owned by Vengeance. This base is also known as the Dawndrift Temple, but it's real easy to see. It's right up there, big old floating building, looks kind of like a clown tent or something like that. Circus tent, whatever you want to call it. But as we get up here, you'll notice I'm looking kind of towards a few different platforms that have low ramps that lead into the center portion of this base. Most guilds will group up on these platforms here and then head straight up these ramps. If they're grouping up first before charging straight in. And then boom, they would see the seal of the 5 words here, which is a fort seal. And they would take this base as quickly as possible. Here we have our NPC here. And this is where, again, you would get your capture rewards and your quest. But let's go ahead and make our way over to Snowpine next. Unfortunately, my video cut out for a moment and you didn't see me teleport over here. But you'll see that my character is located on the map at that little circle and arrow. And I'm near 3 taskboards. The 3 taskboards I'm just moused over here. You could use any of these 3 taskboards to get a little closer per se, as well as to attack from a different angle. But I'm just going to go and show from the portal array how to fly up there. You'll see this little bit of like cliff here. Most guilds like to group up there if they're just coming from the portal array, and then hit straight up from there. On the left edge of this base up here is where most guilds will regroup once more before they start diving in to attack. The corner I'm aimed kind of at right now. And then they would come down from this corner straight either left up here or on this right side. Again, on the left or the right, and then they would attack. And then vice versa on the other side. But again, here's our next Bastion seal, and our NPC right there. I do apologize for the coughing. I just recently quit smoking, and I am basically pretty much cleaning all the smoke out of my lungs. But that said, next base we'll head over to would be the Divine Overlook base, also known as Inkwell Tarn. As you saw there, I got stuck type thing in my escape menu. That allows you to get to any portal array a lot quicker. There are certain spots in the game where it glitches out and it sends you inside the mountains and stuff like that. I generally just screenshot them, tell them where I came from, kind of, and let them try to figure out exactly where that was and fix it. But as you can see, there was a waterfall on the left that I pointed at, and then this waterfall here. We want this one because there's an opening in the mountain. The other one doesn't have an opening. Now, while we're flying through here, I will tell you that I did recently notice that once you get to the back of this area, there's actually an opening in the ceiling of this area, so you definitely want to have turrets at this base if you're defenders, because otherwise people could just fly straight down on your heads. But as you can see, I'm kind of sticking to the left here. If you don't, you'll get Dragon's Grasp by a Vanguard if they're defending like that. They'll pull you straight out to here, drop you down, and boom, you drop to your death. Otherwise, just to show you that it is possible to escape that, all you would do is just jump back in. Zip forward with your dash, or whatever you want to call it if you need to. But otherwise, yeah, just try to stick to the left side. But with that said, we'll just head on through the normal pathway if there are turrets in here. And you'll see that this platform is kind of where we're aiming for. Here's our NPC here. Again, for the rewards for clan war captures. And then, as you saw, there's our seal. Alright, the next base that'll be on our list of bases to fizz is another fort. It is called Coastal Bulwark. This is probably personally my favorite base to use, just because it's for like a defender. Just simply because it's so hard to get through it quickly. It takes a good chunk of time to get it. And as you can see here, there are a couple of portal arrays on the west, and then you can also attack from behind if you're coming through the water. But we're just going to head over to Tywar Village and use that path to kind of show you where you would get into combat from that side, as far as like when you would be attackable. Alright, pretty much once you get past that lamp there, or maybe this one. Yeah, here it is. Okay, once you see that the map has changed to Coastal Bulwark, you're technically attackable. But with that said, we'll be hanging in the front entrance, pretending that there are turrets at this base. And you'll see up here there are two gateways. Of course, that implies that means there's going to be gates. As you can see, the gate doors. You would head through those after you take them out, head up these steps, take a right, take a slight left, head up long, make a giant U, come back, and then boom, head up these stairs that be flying kind of towards. But as you can see, there's a bridge on our left, and you would be coming through these steps here, and would be in the fort room. Seal room, rather, I should say. Again, here's our NPC on this side, and there's our seal. Now, with that said, I'm going to head out the back here and show you what the path would be that you would take up one or the other side to get in if you're coming through the water. This is kind of nice because you can send a stealth team of even as many as 10 people, and they may not even be noticed. You would head up this hill here, or if you come up from the right side, that hill over there. Now, just below us on our left here is going to be a portal that can teleport you up here. I believe it's on the corners of the base itself, not the actual sides. But that would allow you to send people through the entrance we came in from, this entrance over here, or the entrance directly behind us. And while we're here, I'm going to show you a little nifty trick. If you fly up here, you'll notice this has a hole in it that allows you to hide inside this pillar. Kind of a little neat trick if you want to have a team in hiding that's just waiting for the base to get captured and then to wait for them to leave it undefended, then recapture with a higher seal. But with that said, we will be heading over to the next base, Darkfall. Oh, something mentioned while we're making our way over there. If you go in there and the place church, you can't escape. Just hit, I got stuck. But as you saw, I kind of moused over Darkfall here, and then Velvet Lee, and then back to the base, and then Darkfall. But we're going to go the Darkfall way, and I'll show you what's going on with the Velvet Lee portal ray afterwards. Because there's a little trick I want to show people that you can use to your advantage as a defender, or maybe even just an attacker. Alright, as you can see, I'm heading towards the top of this little bit of cleft mountain, whatever you want to call it. You could place a portal ray somewhere up here if you wanted, and that will allow all your guild members to portal over to here to immediately go dive bombing in from here as quickly as possible within like 10-15 seconds. As you can see, if you looked at the time I said that, probably about 15, maybe closer to 20 seconds, and we were at the seal room. Now, as you can see, from over there is where portal ray is, and then you would be going across this pathway to get up and come up the hill here, and then boom, you would be able to go left, or if you can make the jump, which I probably won't, you can get in this hole in the wall and make your way through that way, and it's a little bit quicker and kind of cool. A lot of fun to use. Unfortunately, I suck, so I'm just going to fly through it and then show you where you would go from there. As you can see, we have another ledge to jump up from. I'm just going to back up to see if I can't make this time. And there we go. Finally, I can make a jump. As you can see, this path on our left would lead up to these stairs, just like we did from the other side. And boom, we're within attacking range of the seal again. With that said, we will be heading over to our second to last base, which is the underwater temple down in the bottom right. And then we will be heading over to Wormhome, which is controlled by my guild right now. Alright. So that said, we are located over in the bottom right corner of the map, like I said, at the Blue Wave Palace portal ray that we're going to be going to. And what we're looking for here to know where to go down the water is that symbol I was just mousing over. I'll head over right on top of it before I drop off my wings. As you can see, I drop right inside that symbol. If I fly, or rather swim straight down from there to where that lighting is, not to be confused with the shadow on the far side there, you'll notice that as you get closer and closer, rays of light start to shine out of it. That's a telltale that there is a cave there. Alright, and on the southern side of this base will be identical copies of a cave on the right here and a cave on the left. 2 on each side. I'm just going to head in this left one over here, which would be considered our northeast corner entrance. As you can see, it takes a little while to get into this base. That's why very few guilds like to go and try to take this in the last 15, 30, 35, 45 minutes even. Just because it's so freaking annoying to get into it quick. But once you're in, you jump over onto the land, head up this ramp, and you'll notice up here is our seal room once again. There we have our bastion for the Underwater Palace, aka Blue Wave Palace, and our NPC is right there. Now while I'm here, I'm just going to show you a couple of things. You can put turrets in some of the corners of this actual room itself, and I'll show you, I believe I saw one over there, but let's head over here and see if I saw one over here too. Yes, I did. There's our basic turret that we could place over here. And if you stay at the top of this ramp, you could put Demolisher, one of the movable, like, cannon things that would allow you to attack down the ramp or at the warp down there where people would be coming in. But with that said, let's go ahead and visit our last base, and that will be able to take care of us all. We're going to head over to the side of our portal array, as can be seen. Also known as the Southern Imperial City portal array. As you can see, I'm flying straight south at the moment for the most part, along the road path, and then I break off because we're wanting to head towards these statues over here. Now, if there are turrets, you'd have to get off your wings because you're technically in turret range already, and mount and run through between these statues and going through this main opening. Now, a lot of guilds will be defending from this opening, so it might take a while to get in. But if you're a big enough force, compared to theirs, pretty easy to take this base. Honestly. Just time consuming. Now, something just point out, guys, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments below. As you can see over here, we have a turret, by the way. But I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may or may not have. Doesn't matter how small or how big they are. Now, if there are no turrets, you would come in through this way, and you would be unable to go up any steps here, so you would have to be able to fly, of course, towards the platform above our heads. But if there are turrets, I'll show you the other way to get in. It takes a lot longer to attack this way, unfortunately, but it is what it is. You have your turrets there. There'll be another one up here. I believe another one up a little bit further before we hit the exit point for this path. Yep, there it is on the right. And boom, there's our first exit from the path. On our left here, we'll have a ramp to head up. And again, on the other side, as you saw off the side of the screen. But we'll just head up this path and make our way up all these ramps so that we can show you where you will be going up our final ramp to get up on that platform. As you can see kind of there already, there was our final ramp. There's a turret that would be on the side here, up here, even as far as up here rather. But what's even funnier is there's actually turrets that can be placed on the platform itself too. That's why this is one of the hardest bases to attack, in my personal opinion, in the last 30 minutes. But as you see the lightning coming down, you'll immediately see your seal. That's where it's placed. We have our NPC over here. And while I grab my quest rewards real quick here, just make sure I grabbed everything. Let me say again, thanks for stopping out, guys. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask them down below. I will do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. And until then, see you in game, have a wonderful day, and rock on. This is ReignGames, signing out.